Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Jarae. It's so great to chat with you. First of all, would you mind just telling everyone a little bit about who you are and who you help and just kind of introducing yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a licensed clinical professional counselor in the state of Idaho, and I help women heal from trauma causing disordered eating and negative body image so that they can find peace with food in their body. I opened Mountain River Therapy throughout this process, and I am so excited to continue to watch it flourish and grow.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing. I'm so excited for you because I feel like the work you do is it's so cool and it's so needed and it's so like everything you do just you have this you bring yourself to the work in just this really beautiful way. Like your website, just everything you put out, just I can just feel you in it, your presence in it. So,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah. So awesome. So, can you tell us a little bit about kind of like what you were experiencing or struggling with before you came into the Liberated Practice program?
Yes. So obviously before this, I was in a group practice and I knew that I was going to be transitioning out of my group practice and into my own private practice. And so I wanted to do something different than what the traditional therapists in my area are doing. I really do not want to take insurance, and so I knew I had to do it differently. I couldn't just do the same thing that most therapists were doing in the area, which was, getting on the insurance panels and connecting with each other and just referring. I had to do something different. I had to create a website, which terrified me. I did not know anything about doing that. And I knew I needed to do these things. And I knew I wouldn't be able to do them on my own. Like I had no clue. And I didn't have anybody in this area that was really doing the same thing. So I knew I had to kind of go out and find something else. And that's kind of where I found your program.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. It's so funny to even hear you say like you didn't know how to do anything with the website because your website is so freaking beautiful. Like I think people seeing it would be like, this is professionally designed, right? Like it's so nice. So you really have made something awesome.
It has been a fun to do. Like at first, I was, there's no way. There's no way I'm ever going to do that, be able to create a website and know what to do and what to put on it and everything like that. And after, I put so much time and effort into it and really did try to like speak to my ideal client, but also add in kind of my personality in a sense, like the outdoors. Like I love the outdoors and everything like that. And so it was really fun to be able to do that. And I think that was what's cool about it is because there's a difference that when you put your energy into it and you put what you love into it versus having somebody else do it, and you're like, okay, that's good enough. I think I found that it was really fun to create it and find the pictures and find, and write it out and do all that and make it look like, what I love. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you really did that. And I could tell you were like, it was fun for you to do it as
Hmm.
well, which is awesome.
Hmm.
So I'm wondering, is there anything that like almost, I know you said you were at this place of like, you know, I don't know how to do this on my own. There's no one else
Hmm.
really doing out here what I would like to do. Was there anything that like almost held you back from working together?
So I know, no, and not in that regard. I think I knew there's a lot of therapists out here doing this. So that was number one. Like I knew there was plenty of therapists out there and I, saw a lot of different things. So it was a matter of just finding one that I connected with. And so it's kind of like, I knew I wanted to do it, but then I had to find the right person. And you kind of spoke to me and just your way of doing things. I like the fact that you kind of talk about being an introvert and not always having to do everything on social media and whatnot, and that doesn't have to be your main marketing tool. And so I was like, yay, because that's really hard. And I know you can use it and it's needed, but I didn't want it to be the whole basis of what I was trying to learn. And so when you had said that you teach about the website and you really hone in on the niche and everything like that, I think just that with your personality and just, all that, I think that's what kind of sold me on it. So I wouldn't say anything really, there was a hesitation more so as it was just trying to find the right person. And that was you.
I'm so glad. It's genuinely been such a pleasure to work with you and watch everything you have done. It's been really amazing what you've gotten done in such a short period of time,
Uh-huh.
like coming from not having anything to like you being all set up now.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I'm wondering for you, what would you say has been sort of like your biggest win or takeaway or accomplishment since starting the program?
My biggest so many things. I obviously going into this, I I didn't your program laid out the steps so easily for me. And I think I don't know what it was, but I could follow your steps so easily and get everything done that made it, even though there's a lot, right? There's a ton of stuff that we have to do. You broke it down so nicely that it made every step fairly easy. So number one was creating my niche, getting that like your paperwork and your superpowers hero statement. That
Yeah.
that helped me so much. That you broke it down into so many different aspects to really get to know my ideal client and what it was that I was speaking to, but then also helping me identify my niche in a way that I had been struggling with for such a long time. Like I knew what I wanted to do kind of in the big picture, but I couldn't narrow it down. And you really helped me do that. So that was number one amazing because obviously then it was like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Now I know who I'm speaking to. And I feel confident in that regard, like, oh, this is who I help. And it just flowed so easily. And then the website, your template was super easy to follow. It made creating my website so much easier for me, and I was like, "Wow, I actually can do this. This is really easy." And so I just I followed your template and added my own stuff in there, found pictures of that, found color, all that stuff, but that right there, and now I never thought I'd have a website, especially a website like that, and
It's
so
so cool.
I'm super excited about that. I'm so excited. It's like one of those where you think, "Oh, I'm gonna create this kind of like this one-page kind of crappy website." But no, I've created this very elaborate website with your help and your guidance. And now I'm like, "Yay, I'm super excited to share it and whatnot." And so those things were huge. But then also just your guidance and how to like, network. Prior to this, I didn't I was not great at networking. I was like, I didn't want to do it. I would avoid it. And so following your guidance with your email template to email people and to talk to people has helped. I have been meeting with people weekly, with therapists and nutritionists and stuff like that just to connect with them. And it's actually been really fun. I have enjoyed it. That was something that, like, before I was like, nope, I can't see myself doing that. And now it's like, okay, it's actually not that hard. It's not that bad. So I feel like those were kind of like three huge wins for me as far as that what's helped me in this program is those three things, because those are things that I had been struggling with prior to this, didn't know what to do or how to do them, and then come into this program and you laid it out so beautifully and made it so easy for me to follow that it was just natural, just like, okay, here's the next step. Now I know what I need to do. And so those were huge for me and, massive takeaways from this program.
Ah, that's so awesome to hear. And it's also funny to hear you like these are things I kind of knew from talking with you before starting the program, but even to hear you say that like I didn't know how to network, like it's so interesting because now like every week you're sharing about, and I see you posting online and posting your website and getting like all these responses and also like hearing about all the people you're networking with who are like, I have clients for you, and you're having these great
Mhm.
kind of experiences and interactions with people. Like I would have never, seeing you now, thought like that beforehand that would have been something that was a challenge for you because you're killing it with that. So
Well, I appreciate that. I will say I am also a very big introvert. And so I was sitting there going, no, I don't know. I have to try to do this. But actually emailing them and getting the response and having people go, yes, this is what I want to do really helped me out. I was like, okay, I can do this. And then it just, chatting with them, getting to know their specialty and kind of building up my referral network as well. So kind of going with it in that regard has made it a little bit easier for me. But I will say that I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So I'm wondering, like, how has all this sort of affected your life, you, like everything you have kind of set up right now? How has this, yeah, just affected your life?
I would say that it has helped me feel more confident in what I'm doing in my private practice, which was, like I said, I am in an area in a small part of Idaho where not many therapists are, going telehealth or doing private pay. Most are doing the insurance base and believe that you have to be in person. And so it has built my confidence to be, nope, this is what I want to do. And I'm okay if not everybody else is doing the same thing. But it's also helped me learn to network within the whole state and not just my small area so that I'm reaching, more. So the bigger cities and everything like that. I feel more confident in who I'm serving and who my specialty is, even though I knew what I wanted to do and I know what my specialty is. I didn't know how to say it and I didn't know how to speak it confidently,
Mm.
and you helped me do that, and so that has been amazing. So I feel like I have become more confident in my abilities as a clinician in private practice, in my own private practice, and who I want to help and who I want to serve and what my, specialty is. And those have been really, I mean, amazing, because to be
Mm.
able to do that and to be able to speak it confidently versus before it was kind of like, well, this is what I like to do, or this is who I like to help. I didn't know how to speak it in a way where now I have my niche statement and I know it and I can speak it very clearly, versus fumbling constantly.
Yeah, totally. Yes, that is amazing. And like I said, like I just think that like thinking about it differently, like there's what you are doing is actually something that people want to hear about and are like excited and thrilled that there's a therapist operating in the way you do around emotional eating and relationship with food and like, oh my God, what a breath of fresh air to talk about those things through the lens of trauma and healing trauma.
Mhm.
Like, oh, how cool is that? It just seems like you're so in line with your, who you are, your inner values and all of that. Like what you're doing feels so aligned right now.
I will say that you helping me hone that in and speaking from the trauma lens. I knew I wanted to speak from the trauma lens, but I couldn't figure out how to word it. And I don't know why. I couldn't figure it out. I knew I wanted to work with people struggling with eating and body image. And I always looked at everything through the trauma lens. But by your guidance and your help, you helped me hone that in. And once I did, it was almost like it just started flowing, right? I started writing blog posts. It became so much easier versus like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to write. It was, oh, I know exactly what I'm now. It's like, everything just started flowing so much easier for me to be able to do the things for, the tasks. I remember like, there's no way I can write a blog post. I don't even know what I'm going to write about. Right.
Yeah.
And then I just started, I was like, okay, just, make it very easy. And I knew exactly. And it just flowed. It was so easy to write versus feeling like it was so hard to write, because now I knew exactly what I was speaking to and what I was, my clients are struggling with, which, has been so amazing and so
Yeah, and
helpful.
what they're
That you
searching for and like
Mhm.
all of these things, like you really have done a beautiful job of like almost putting yourself in their shoes and understanding them inside and out, it seems.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
oh, thank you so much. So,
Mm.
if anyone were on the fence about joining the Liberated Practice program, what would you say to them? What would you want them to know?
I would say that to obviously definitely do it because it has helped me tremendously. That Emma's program, your program, is so easy to follow. You lay it out so nicely that I took everything step by step, and I just followed your step by step in your course, and was able to do everything that needed to be done in that regard. And I was able to hone in on my niche. I was able to create my website, right? I started networking. All these things just started to fall into place, and it's only going to continue to grow from there. But I think if I didn't have this foundation, I would still be kind of like fumbling through everything. So you gave me the foundation to be able to do that. And I would say that definitely do it because it has been such an amazing journey for me. And it has really given me so much confidence in myself as a business owner and as a clinician to be able to do what I want to do, regardless of what everybody else is doing in my community. And I think that if anybody's on the fence, that they should definitely just take the leap and do it because it's well worth it and they won't regret it.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Joey.
Mhm.
That is lovely to hear. And it has, again, it's just been such an honor helping you grow this amazing, beautiful practice. And if anyone has clients or needs help with anything related to emotional eating, orthorexia, any kind of disordered eating in Idaho, Jarae is definitely your woman for that. She's incredibly talented. So thank you for
Thank you.
being here with us.
Mhm.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.